Yo, what's the deal? All right, no more bags, Sega, no more bags.
No more bag.
No more bag. That bag loud as a motherfucker.
Bag, bro. Yes, sir.
No more bag.
It's not that the bag's loud, it's that the microphone is so good.
Done.
It's picking up all the good stuff.
No, that's bullshit.
Turkey bad boys right there.
It's loud
Bad
ass.
boys.
Loud ass bag, bro.
Okay.
Right.
No, okay. So no, look. So I made head come today.
My nigga head.
Because I had some crazy thoughts
Yeah.
from yesterday. But I just been going through this crazy shit for the last 12 months. It's just been crazy. And it's funny because I forgot Kiki was coming with Sega, right? So it's like dope to have Kiki here, right? Kiki Logue. Shout out to everybody who don't know, but Kiki Logue, legendary West Coast foundation of gangster rap. Feel me? Somebody important in my life since I've been a kid. You know what I'm saying? Just all around talent. True blue. Go look it up. Do your homework. You know what I'm saying? But it's important because more than anything, mute that phone. Who was that? That shit just, yeah. Somebody that's foundational to me in hip hop that understood it way before I understood it and all of the above. So I thought it was dope to have everybody here. So my little bro here, my big bro here, homie Sega here, my brother Sega, the whole team. So it's like dope. I told Head to come on today. I never usually have Head come on here because I don't really have too much shenanigans. Like I don't really do shenanigans. Like I really be thinking about the shit I be saying. All my shit be in good faith. Even if people think I'm crazy, because it be in good faith. Like I don't really.
Why does the audience have to suffer then for all these headless podcasts?
Because Head got his own show, and you can go see Head shit on his show. So I really don't try to have Head come over here and be fucking up all our craziness. But this was important, and I had a great fucking idea. Yo, this is what I was saying, Head. May 4th should be a day that hip hop celebrates forever. May 4th is the day hip hop won its independence back. May 4th is a day when an invasion, like a tyrant, invaded this thing that we call hip hop. You know, 15 years ago, a tyrant, a foreign tyrant invaded this thing that we call hip hop.
I see. Okay.
Sound crazy. I know it sound bad, Pete. Sound raggedy, but it's true.
I see what you're saying. I see the.
It's in true. It's true, Pete. A foreign.
Where you going? Where it goes?
A foreign person, not foreign in land, but foreign in cultural experience. Foreign,
right? And
was able to mask themselves and parade themselves around as the culture, right?
A northern imperialist.
A
northern imperialist.
I'm not going to get in the land. I'm just saying culturally unavailable because they have that same culture up there. It's just he's not a part of that. Think about it, right? May 4th is the day hip hop won its independence back. It actually became a street urban elk again, thanks to the song Not Like Us. That is the day Not Like Us was released. And I think every May 4th, we need to have a celebration to celebrate hip hop fighting back and winning its independence. No different than they did for the Revolutionary War. This morning I woke up, it was a bunch of people talking shit about little bro, about K-Dot, about Kendrick. Oh man, Glasses, you know, he took his moment to celebrate Drake as much. And I thought as much as the British is celebrated on the 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a good take.
Straight up, right?
I mean,
it's
like, I mean, it's a perversion of the victory. I mean, it's like, okay, so what? Then we're celebrating the Chiefs.
You know what I mean? They was there.
It's just a way to try to pervert or downplay the victory. Like, I get where you're going, but at the end of the day, bro, it's a victory. However you want to paint it, if that makes you comfortable. We celebrating Drake, okay.
Cool, right?
Cool, that's fine.
So I was thinking here that we should turn that into the first national holiday in hip hop.
Don't they? Didn't the white people give us one already?
No, they don't. They try to celebrate. No, they try to celebrate the day hip hop started with a party.
I feel like there's going to be people from New York not terribly pleased with this particular selection.
I disagree. We have somebody from New York. Hold up. Yeah, we have somebody from New York, from Queens, New York. My man Trap looming over the chat with his presence and vocals right now. Trap, what do you think?
I mean, listen, man. When the wars was fought, though, you know what I'm saying, back in the days, what was that, the Civil War that was fought between the North and the South and shit like that?
Yeah.
I mean, so, I mean, yeah, I guess I wouldn't have no problem with that at all. You know what I'm saying? It could be, you calling it hip-hop's Independence Day? What you calling it?
We need to figure out a dope name for it. For
So,
sure, I don't have the name.
Okay, so look, this is my question, right?
Okay.
So you're saying hip hop won its independence from what?
From this foreign
corporate hierarchy.
Okay.
So can I say on my can I say on
was an emulator, but not necessarily the truth cloth cut from it. He knew
culture.
He knew what to do to, advance and advance the business and put it all together. You know how to manipulate that well and present it and mimic it, but at the same time, it wasn't of that. It's just like somebody coming to your family or your hood or your block saying, "Hey," they looking at everything you do. They like, "Oh, that's cool. That's cool too. That's cool. Oh, I'm gonna do it. Oh, look, I'm dressed like you.
I'm like y'all.
Look, I did it kind of cool this time too." And then, but then the real dude from the block comes out because he's talking tough, just like them. So it's like now you meet up and just it's what the culture is gonna win every time if you're not from there.
No ceilings.
Somebody you grew up in it.
No ceilings live. The lunch hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time, right here on Digital Soapbox. Click that thumbs up button. Let everybody know you're in the house. If you're on Twitter, retweet this link. Tell a friend. If you're on Facebook, share this post. Let everybody know you around the spot. We do this live to support the No Ceilings podcast. Look below us a link. Click it. Listen to it. Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, or anywhere you consume your podcast from. No Ceilings podcast, executive produced by Charlemagne the God. The what is it, Pete?
Black Effect Podcast Network and the iHeart
and
Radio Network
conglomerate.
Yes.
You feel me? Shout out to my boy
Service,
Grim Low.
no
He said, "I
service.
agree," and I'm from South Bronx, the home of hip hop, the Bronx. So again,
so you're saying that hip hop was colonized.
Yes,
and
over the last
to some
15
extent.
years.
And
16
black
years.
people and culture took it back May 4th.
And the street urban culture,
urban culture took it back.
one man, street urban culture came and took it back.
So what's the significance of May 4th from back in the day? You said 15 years ago?
No, May 4th last year.
Oh, got you. 2024.
Yeah, when you
That is
started
the
off,
day.
I thought you were saying when you started that May 4th was the day before like Drake's first shit dropped.
No.
So there had been
May
like this
4th
occupation for 15 years from May 4th of 2010 or whatever the fuck until that ended. But we're just talking about when it ended.
No. May 4th is the day that Not Like Us dropped.
Yeah, gotcha. Now I get that now.
And it stole, it took,
That's wild.
y'all got to understand, this didn't happen for jazz.
Right.
This didn't happen
Right.
for jazz. We just lost jazz. There was no fight to keep jazz.
Yeah.
There was no fight to keep rock and roll.
Blues.
There was no fight to keep this stuff. When these people came and colonized the rest of this stuff, shout out to the people, because I'm not talking about y'all. Y'all did, y'all liked it, and then y'all became it.
Sales became the, became the
You got to
interest.
invest in what's working, right? You got to invest in what's working.
Business.
right.
Yeah,
Which
if
is-
you're in the business, you got to invest in
what
what's
it is.
working. Hip hop is the first genre of all black music that decided to say, we're going to gatekeep. I saw this white man, Frank Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's brother, now mind you, Beyonce didn't get anything.
I was just about to say the country because they was gatekeeping.
I mean, she didn't get
it was
anything at the
gatekeeping
country
for a minute.
awards.
Yeah.
She won Best Country Album at the Grammys. And Frank Stallone stood up and said, that lady is not living a country experience. He named a bunch of other country acts that happened to be white. I don't know if that's why, but they were white. And he even said Post Malone. Like, these people dedicate their whole life to country.
Which is funny because Frank's not a country guy, which
At
makes
all.
it
He's
even
a city
funnier.
guy,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, I thought about that. I was like, so I'm not crazy. Even Frank Stallone was like, hey,
You're not from that culture.
you are not from the culture.
Come on.
So it's like,
So even if somebody like Frank, who's outside of the country culture, can notice it, I'm not crazy.
For
right?
noticing it in my own culture.
Come on,
Understood.
Comedy.
that makes
Facts.
perfect sense.
Yeah, all right, I get that.
The inaccuracy is just it's just rot with that's one of the funnier. I wasn't even aware of that. That's one of the like more layered, funny irony statements
Like for real,
of the recent time.
that's prolific.
Sure. In a sense, I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's
Like
real.
when you put it like that,
That's real.
I
Like
can't knock that. You know, what
Like
I'm
if
saying?
you
And
really
it's
are like
I mean,
from like Houston, like that part
Let's
of that
look at
culture
that.
area in Houston, like it's hard to. I mean, you got to be out like farming in the sticks to be more country culturally than than Texas. I mean, shit.
Shout out to Dr. Love. Thank you for the $2. Y'all can celebrate on the
that's
West.
real though.
We good down
Shit
south.
right there.
Y'all need to get in on this.
So do you think that? So what happens when it gets colonized again? It's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen again.
I'm going to
It's
be
going
honest
to
with
happen.
you.
It's gonna
Not
happen.
for a long while.
Listen,
It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute, but it's gonna happen.
Means you're gonna control it.
Now
again.
we just
That's
have
all.
it's a different perspective of understanding what you have now. I don't
But
think we
that's
understood
for
what
us.
we had.
What
at
about
the
for the
time.
next young
It's a
generation?
different
You
time
think they're
now.
going to be aware as much as what we're aware about right now?
I don't think so. And I'm gonna tell you why. Me and Kiki was just talking about this off air. Shout out to my OG homie Kiki Loco.
Just let it slide.
Right? No, it's not just that. Hip hop is in a weird space because if we don't find out the independent business side of this,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna it's gonna die off anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because the production company creates the opportunities for the record labels. Like they don't know what else to do. They're going to sign whatever we're pushing. So they're going to either sign whatever we're selling them, right? Or they're going to try to get an identical version of what we're selling. So when they missed on Snoop Dogg, they signed Warren G, Def Jam. I mean, when people miss, they go sign. You know, that's why regions get hot. That's why people think the West has a chance.
And he
right
saved
now.
Def Jam, by the way. Shout
Right?
out
They
Warren
feel
G.
like the West has a chance. They're like, well, Kendrick is popping. And he has the sound. And me and Kiki was just talking about this. There is no West Coast sound.
Yeah.
The West Coast, what you call sound, is built off funk music. We just adopted funk music. Their generation adopted funk music, but Kiki and them listen to all kind of other music too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that the party was more active to funk, and that became the foundation of our hip hop. But that don't mean it's our sound. We have a pace of life, like Head
It is in
always
the context
talks
of
about.
hip hop, though.
Bro,
It's all derivatives. It is in the context of hip hop.
I think it does. I think that we do have a sound though. We
don't have
the
a
way
sound.
that we
No,
put together
1000%
those
you do.
sounds
No, we
makes our
don't.
sound. The
We
way
don't
that
have a
we
sound.
the way we put
In the hip
together
hop context, you do.
because
No, we
even the
don't.
G Funk didn't use it
What
as
y'all
G
rap
Funk.
about?
It was funk.
We
It's the
don't.
way we use those sounds.
We don't really have a sound.
You talk
We
about
got a
regional
sound.
BPMs.
Where would you say
Right.
that? Where would you say that you'd find the way they use the G Funk stuff somewhere else besides Detroit?
Well, remember, Kiki will tell you firsthand, they grew up off EPMD. That was their shit. All my older homies brag about EPMD, and they was using funk.
It was booms, but they were using funk. When you take funk,
Diamond D.
G Funk, it's a whole nother. It's funk, but it just the sound of it that articulates
that was
a
a
whole
hedge.
nother
There's a
story,
difference between
a
the
whole
hedge
nother
and the norm.
point of view, a whole nother perspective, which gives us the West Coast sound.
Because I mean,
But-
I guess you can say this in different eras and ages. Because when I think West Coast, I think them simps. I think that, like you said, in a sense, because of the era of where I started at in my age group, that boom, boom, boom. You feel me? That's in a sense considered West Coast in my era.
But
when
but
you
I
hear
think-
something else like that, you're not gonna consider
Ed,
that
what
West
you
Coast.
thinking, bro? You keep shaking your head. I think you're shaking your head at me because usually I'm the wrongest.
I'm shaking my head because I have a real issue with this topic, right?
What are you saying?
I have a super issue with this topic. Joe Budd, I was talking to Joe Budd and his minions about this, and because I asked him based on, you know, what I've heard and the conversation I've had, is Pump It Up. Has he ever heard Pump It Up be considered a West Coast record? He said no, he's never heard that. It's an interesting question. The reason why I asked that is because anything that has tempo to it now, everybody automatically assumes that it's West Coast. I don't like that narrative because that's never been the case. I wanted to know when that pivot and when that shift happened. what defines a song as being quote unquote West Coast or sounding West Coast is all based on funk. It's all based on the bass guitar. If the bass line plays a certain way at a certain tempo, that's considered West Coast music, because stereotypically and traditionally, culturally, our music is based on funk, which is or comes from the bass guitar itself. So you can play other records that are the same tempo, but with synthesizers in it, like Bruno Mars uses a lot of that type of sound. His songs are between 104 and 110 BPM, and those songs are not considered quote unquote West Coast songs. Even a song called Uptown Funk is not considered a West Coast song, and that song is like I think 107 if my memory serves me correctly. So I hate that narrative. Like even if you listen to Black Eyed Peas, Let's Get It Started, it's a classic song, right? That's 105 BPM. That bass line, there's a strong bass line and there's two of them. It goes boom, 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 boom. But the way it's played, people don't look at it like it's West Coast. People look at it like a pop record. So the reason why I say I have an issue with that is because music around 110, 100 BPM with a bass line doesn't automatically make it a West Coast song. Like I hate that.
Exactly.
Shit.
I agree. I would agree with that 100% though. I would not say that the BPM and baseline determines West Coast.
I think it's
what I'm saying is it does based on how it's played.
But the problem is that's my
the people are listening. I'm not saying it does make it West Coast. I'm saying to the reception and perception of human beings, they perceive it to be a West Coast song. Ric Flair Drip is not 100 BPM and it has an 808 bass to it, but Metro made it with trap sounds.
Again, I think it's one of those like not like it's a corny example because it's been used a million times, like from another scenario. But it's like the not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims kind of thing. You know, type of like it's like not every time that song that
DJ
sound,
Head has nothing to do with that statement that was just made.
I'm using it as illustratively. It's like I'm used to like not every time that sound is created from the West Coast, but every time the West Coast
I got shit I gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not what I'm saying. What people keep saying sounds West Coast. That's not what's happening. Like again, like who would you just say that produced? Key from New York?
Oh, Diamond D.
There are Houdini, Larry Smith used funk. Like this is a crap narrative. Remember, Thing is just Leon Haywood. I want to do something freaky to you. That's not really special to us or nothing. That was just something that was happening. So a lot of the things that we're getting caught up with on hip hop is what things sound like, but sound like is really a lazy effort to identify something. Shout out to my boy Low Diggs. He used to always have this expression, and I use it all the time. To listen clinically is to list and end, right? List and end, right? That's the clinical definition of listening. To list and end. To hear is to acknowledge sound. It's without detail. So that's why when like you arguing with a girl and she's not listening, she's hearing you, you're gonna say something and she's gonna say, well, it sound like you said, because she's telling you emotionally what's happening. She's not taking the detailed listening. So that's my point when I'm saying, when we keep saying West Coast hip hop. Yeah. Like West Coast hip hop is not really, we built a foundation on funk, but it is not the complete foundation. Yeah. The tempo and pace of life is more important than actually the genre we use. We can make the same thing with blues, which is how you get MC8 and Compton's Most Wanted records. We can make the same things with jazz, which is how you get Dub C, You Are the One, and different things. We can do the same thing with R&B, which is how you get Dr. Dre and a lot of the stuff they were doing early on. It's not just funk, but I get it that people start right there and say it sounds like something. Right. But so that's only to the common person who don't understand. There is nothing G-funk about next episode. There's not even a funk song.
But you know what though? If we're gonna get real technical about it, if we're gonna place what sound like what, technically hip hop, nobody don't sound like original hip hop. Africana Bambaataa and all them cats. That's hip hop. That's how it started. Yeah. So ain't no rapper sounding like that.
Sure.
You know? Bro. To touch on what Kiki just said, bro, like if you go back, right, What's the song? Put your hands where my eyes can see.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes. That's 99 BPM. That has a strong bass presence. But then 100 BPM if you go to like Lauryn Hill, Doo Wop. You know that song, That Thing. Dun, 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 dun. That's 100 BPM too. Nobody ever said that sounded like a West Coast song. You get what I'm saying? So
And that's
like,
and that's why
nothing sounds like that shit. So that's why I asked the question when I was talking to Joe. It's like, when did this shift happen? I think it's just a bunch of motherfuckers who don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Exactly.
Classifying shit. Like, that's trap.
Exactly.
Like, if you think of trap music, wasn't even that slow. DJ Toomp, when they created trap music was between 75 and 88 BPM. It wasn't in the 60s and shit. Like, Bad and Bougie would probably be, quote unquote, the biggest trap song ever. And that's 64 BPM. But when Toomp and them started that shit was in the mid 80s. Same tempo as New York backpack hip hop.
Yeah. And New York backpack hip hop can go as high as 199. If you go to Kane, you can go to 110 and 120. So the only thing I really resonate when it comes to West Coast sound is what Head talks about when he talks about pace of life. That's the consistency, right? BPM is the consistency.
Frequency, the vibration, I was saying.
I like that too. If you think about it, right, it's like,
would that be like considered vibe?
Yeah. I hate that word.
Yeah,
me too.
Me too.
Vibe, I call vibe diet soul.
Vibe is like woke saying something like that, but
it's like vibe is like diet soul.
No, it's not like that.
It's too opaque.
All right, all right, would you consider that like the like what did you say?
Like
vibration and frequency.
Talk to the mic.
Because vibration and frequency got to do with the tempo. So if you go to a party, you don't just playing something that's at 100 BPM and then all of a sudden drop down to 40 or 50 just on the fly, unless you're doing some type of special set or something, but not as a party. That
You keep the energy.
the party gonna erupt. They're gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So would y'all put genres in like a situation by BPM then?
No, because you can't put genre.
Wait. Explain the question.
He said, do you put genres by BPM?
No, but I'm saying I'm asking him to break that question down. What do you mean by that?
He's saying, can you define genres by how fast the song is?
Yeah.
No.
What defines? But okay, so what defines? So is there like an East Coast sound? You know what I mean? So there's
like a step to it though.
So we're saying there's no sound.
So you're saying yes, right? So you're saying there's no sound. So if you're saying that everything is defined by, if you're not saying that it's not defined by BPM, and you're saying that West Coast music, well, you're not saying it's this because it's this BPM or it's this BPM. And I'm saying, for me, I would not say a song is vibed or genred or anything by the BPM. If I say
that.
No, that's not what we. Okay, so I'm saying the closest you can get to consistency is that. But you got to remember, right? Pace of life matters. How fast people are living their lives. But you can't. There's fast blues songs. There's slow blues songs.
Would you call DJ Quick a West Coast artist?
Yes, because he's from Compton. But
would you say his music is? Would you say he has a West Coast sound?
But that's a lazy. No, I wouldn't say that anymore. Because like I am.
You would say more like it's.
So he's generic.
You would just more so say, hey, let's call it what it is. I make funk music. So I'm from the roots.
Quintessentially, he's the father of what you would call G-Funk, based off of what the sound is. Right. Taking that Clear song back in '88, playing that bass line over, doing Tonight is what the quintessential G-Funk song sounds like.
Right.
Are we saying G-Funk is West Coast hip hop? Sure, if that's what you want to say. But I'm telling you, the problem is you won't, and this is Head point, you won't call Bruno Mars G-Funk.
No.
You won't call Busta Rhymes using that Seals and Croft sample to make Put Your Hands G-Funk. You wouldn't make it. So it's not the fact.
I feel like they've just taken aspects of G-Funk to put into their thing. So
they're doing the same thing
G-Funk
never
call that G-Funk.
But there's no aspect because it's only funk. Right?
Elements, those elements, the elements.
But I'm saying,
it's how G-Funk uses funk. They're taking the element, the way that G-Funk is a little separate from just regular funk, because G-Funk gonna give you a whole nother a whole nother vibe. They're taking the same. It's just a tree. They're doing the same thing from G-Funk. Okay, this is how they did funk. Instead of doing it like this, we're gonna do it like they did it, and then they use it in their display. That's what they.
Yeah, I think it's.
Let me say this real quick. I think the main I think the main thing that's the difference between every genre y'all talking about is the drum that they're using though. You know what I'm saying?
Is the
They
what?
They use different kicks, they use different drums, different snares. They use a different, and then also if we saying West Coast sound, what about when I use that organ all the time, or the guitars y'all use within the synths that y'all use in the song? They don't use no other coast though.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
my point.
But
too.
I'm telling y'all saying because, but just listen, Trap. Y'all saying because we use more funk elements that makes it West Coast.
No, I'm saying how we use the funk elements
How?
makes it West Coast.
But we don't use them any specific way.
We do.
They only can be
That's not
used
true.
one way.
We definitely do because we
listen. One
it's
thing,
like Kanye, the way Kanye used his
We
sample.
don't use them any
That's
specific
how
way.
Kanye
We use
used
them
his
one
sample.
way. Is that what you said?
He just using oldies. Kanye started out using oldies. It was how he used them, which made that sound, which is now Kanye Chicago sound. It is what it is, but it's taking a gang of oldies. It's music. Well, we could say, okay, well, that's not that. This is soul. This is R&B because you took from.
Listen, y'all are taking a really very topical idea to something that's way, way, way denser.
I think it's the same.
It's much more dense than you could imagine. Again, we're using the same elements that we didn't create an element.
Okay.
Like the lead existed. Like when you listen to Leon Haywood, I want to do something.
How you created? How you use
that's neither here nor there.
Who else uses it like
Nobody
that?
uses
Who
it like
else
Dre.
uses it like Dre? Or who else
all
uses
derivatives.
it
What made
like
the sound.
like a DJ Quick or like a what's his name? Battle Funk. Battle Cat. Who else uses them like
everybody? Larry Smith is the father of their style.
Right.
So they took Larry Smith and Marley Marl. It's not unique.
But they did the way they did
But
it, the way they decided to use it
a hedge.
articulate a
This is like the
storyline.
norm.
That was the West Coast sound.
You didn't hear nobody else doing that.
Just listen.
That's why it
Coming
sound
from
cool
anywhere
when I feel like when at the end of
he's telling you, this is what Kiki just said. Ask them about EPMD. If you listen to EPMD, if you listen to all the other funks, you would hear the same thing.
The norm.
A lot of artists took the West Coast
but
sound
when
and
you're
did the
saying
same
the norm,
thing.
that doesn't. It's not the norm here. Don't nobody. Everybody don't use
EPMD, bro.
EPMD.
Okay, y'all.
Eric Sermon.
Okay, listen. When we talking, y'all got to kind of
East Coast.
because we all talking at the same time. So it's one mic, one feed.
My bad.
So what I'm saying to you is, we didn't invent the lead.
Right.
We didn't invent that. That's from the funky word. That's a funk music asset that we took from funk music. So we all using out the same pot of music. We're all using out the same pot of music. We're all using out the same pot.
There's a proportional buy-in ratio, though.
It is.
That is so critical mass regionally that is not in other regions.
But it's not even nobody else uses it but them. It's not like Quick uses it. It's not like Warren uses it. It's not like none of these other people use it. Smith didn't use it. Kiki didn't use it.
Serena proved the point yesterday. There's not a big act that comes out of there other than like OT, really, that you can't like Crip Walk to.
But this is the problem. This is sometimes
pause, clap,
this is gonna sound
pause, clap. That's the whole.
This is gonna sound. He said pause, clap. He talking about how to go from that. This is gonna sound more prejudiced than I want it to sound. Not to you, like in race related, but just in music. Trust me, this is not how everybody sounds, Pete. Like this is more, and it's like if you hear it from this surface level, then you think everybody sounds like this. We're all pulling from one pot. The only music that I can remember that had a mass movement that was created on the West Coast from musicians was Sunshine Pop. There is nothing else. Everything else in hip hop is an interpolation of some other genre.
That's what I'm saying. It's all derivative.
But what I'm telling you is everybody on the West didn't use that same element of funk that Dre used. The lead became popular for Dre, but that's not what everybody else did. Battle Cat didn't use a lead. Battle Cat don't have leads in his song. He plays the bass differently. So again, so when we keep saying West Coast sound, it's not really true. It's a lazy way of approaching something that's way deeper.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to say to y'all. It's way deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So like when people say Not Like Us sounds like a West Coast song, why the fuck does that sound like a West Coast song to you?
You know why?
Yes, but I'm saying again, it's a lazy effort to categorize something.
What else are they going to categorize?
But also to G's point, I expect human beings to be lazy, and I expect human beings.
I gotta be lazy.
because
It's lazy because
well, no, I'm
it's
using the
lacking
polite word.
detail.
Lazy Sega is the polite word. I call
Yeah.
people stupid.
That's where you and I agree. That's where you and
Blasters
I
don't
agree.
like to say people are stupid.
Because
So
they're not incapable of learning.
Where's the line between nuance and theme? That's my question.
You said who?
Because where's the line then between nuance and theme? Because thematically, there seems to be a general consensus of agreement, and nuance.
No,
there seems
it
to be
was
some
always-
very differences.
it was
so
all-
where is that
listen.
space separated?
First off, Pete, we never used the term gangster rap. That was not. That's what everybody outside that didn't know
I'm
called
talking
it.
sonically. I'm not even talking terminology wise.
I'm telling you, but that's what I'm saying. We didn't say that ever. Nobody said this is the West Coast sound that made the music. So it was only from how people needed to classify it that didn't know what it was. That's a
It got
fact.
classified.
Y'all think with
Uncle
Dre,
Left
so
is
y'all
just
think when
straight
Dre
up
was
saying
making music, he was like, I'm making the new West Coast sound.
I don't think
Yeah.
he said
I
that.
No,
do.
he did not.
I think that when it developed and it came out, it was like, this is what it is. This is where I'm from. And boom, bam.
That's not what
And
happened.
People stamped it as a sound, like
No,
you guys
no.
are saying.
People who didn't know,
And it provided a sound though.
no, people
like
he didn't
Keep the
provide a
Sneak,
sound.
just like
That's not no.
People that make sounds in their city. That
You know what?
that's,
It's like
it has
teaching
that
y'all
sound
the
and you know it.
Revolutionary War, bro. This is crazy. That's not what happened.
Yeah, what you mean?
That's not what happened, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you the war. So quick Tonight is the first song that would be titled the way or the sound that you would call G-Funk.
Okay.
Right? Taking a sample, replaying the
Okay.
bass, making the bass the centerpiece of
Yeah.
the music, and then doing your tough rap.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you think a tough rap is,
Mhm.
right? Boom. They were listening to Too Short. Shout out to Player Ham. They were listening to Too Short's album
Okay.
that had Don't Fight the Feeling, right? That became the
And
first
that came out
big,
in New York, right?
What? Too Short, Don't
was
Fight the
kidding.
Feeling?
I was kidding.
Oh, okay. So again, right? But I'm saying that wouldn't be considered G-Funk, or that wouldn't be considered none of
Yeah.
this. So again, everybody's pulling out of a funk pot. EPMD pulled out of a
Okay.
funk pot. Houdini pulled out of a funk pot. They have a song called 5 Minutes of Funk. That could be a West Coast song.
Yeah.
Sure, there's examples of that. What's his name? Like I just heard the song. It's actually a decent example. Like Filthy Rich just did a song off the old Lil Jon Trick Daddy track, and it sounds seamless.
Because
obviously it's
funk.
out of region.
Because
I get that.
we
but
are not, first off,
It's how you use
remember
the sound,
James
though.
Brown is coined as the creator of funk. He's
Yeah.
from Georgia. The
Mhm.
people who got the most props from funk, right, is probably Parliament and them, right?
Yeah.
George Clinton's from New Jersey. Boosie is from Ohio. Like, bro, Dayton, Roger and them from Dayton. Roger and Zapp and them from Dayton. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it is not simple. It's I get it. I get why the lazy fan likes to say the West Coast sound. But
Nah,
there's
but-
nothing about Leon Haywood's I Want to Do Something Freaky to You and then sampling that to say, hey, this is West Coast. Like, even if you hear the lead, it's because you don't understand it comes from a group out of Ohio.
Right.
So
when
again,
did it
but
get
it's
all
the-
of
big,
hip
though?
hop
When did
is
it
samples
blow
and
up?
extractions.
the way
Hold on,
that he
Pete.
used the sound was what made it West Coast.
it was
didn't that
always
part blow
big.
up?
That
He was-
it was always big.
yeah.
That's why Dre and them used it. It was already
Yeah.
black.
It was already what it was.
So look, I'm on FYI, which is will.i.am's AI. It's probably the most powerful AI, right? So I asked it, what makes a song sound West Coast? And it says, number one, funky bass lines. The groove is often driven by funky, smooth bass lines that give it relaxed bounce. Number two, smooth R&B soulfulness. There's a blend of hip hop with elements of R&B and soul. Sometimes the use of melody to deliver the smoothness. Three, laid back beats. The beats tend to be the beats tend to be smooth compared to other beats like East Coast rap. Four, synthesizers and funky guitar riffs. Five, G-funk elements. And six, storytelling.
So that makes the whole West Coast sound.
And
According
think about
to the
it, we
FYI,
didn't
right?
According to
originate-
AI.
Yeah,
And
according
think
to
about
the
this.
AI.
We didn't originate any of that in hip hop space.
That's not.
But that's not the thing.
Here nor there.
It's the- it's
for it
the-
to be your
That's what I'm,
Extraction
it's like
based.
now you're arguing, okay, well, since we didn't make the guitar, this can't be rock. This is just guitar.
right.
Nah, it's how I use it. It's how I use the sound,
But it's
which
nobody's
makes my
but
sound that I'm presenting to you.
they're saying the bass is the main melody of the song. We're not the first ones in hip hop to do that.
All right, I have a question.
Oh,
Sega, you a
you-
producer. Kiki, you a producer. If I told you to
Glass
make
is a producer too. Hold on.
Yeah, Glass
I'm
be
just talking.
cooking.
I'm
Don't
just.
sleep.
I'm
G
getting
be
somebody
cooking,
else's
man.
He said
opinion.
hypothetically. You're not hypothetical.
I'm
Go
getting
ahead.
outside opinion. This is
Go
your
ahead.
shit.
Niggas
But from a
stupid.
producer standpoint, if I told you to make me a trap beat, right? How would you approach that? Where would you set the metronome?
I'm setting the metronome at 120, and then I'm going getting 808s.
I was just about to say I'm starting with 808s.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm starting with. I'm
We're
starting
starting with 808s, but that's what I'm saying. So it's
off
like,
the rip.
but
It really- and
it's
from there,
how
it
I
really
use the
don't make-
808s.
Exactly, and from there,
you know what I mean?
exactly how you start your 808s, and from there, it really don't matter
Yeah,
because now we're in the trap mind of my snare's about to be light, my
Right.
hi-hats are about to be light, they're about to be sped up.
I'm about to make them snap
which-
like
feel me?
crazy.
Which
It's gonna,
rolls
it's
us-
gonna
which
stupid.
rolls us into this different conversation. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to the whole lunch table. Appreciate y'all commenting. Thank y'all. It's cracking. I got a little bro head here. Got my Big on Me Kiki logo here. Got my brother Sega,
Yes,
P,
Sirski.
Cuzzo right here. Check it out. Dre says, G Malone, did you hear that shit Hitmaker said? And that's my problem. This is why it goes back to this point. So immediately when you start making trap, you're starting to emulate what you think trap sounds like.
I'll give you that. Facts.
It's not a diss. It's,
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're
right.
not
because,
wrong. That's
because
facts.
That
Hitmaker
makes
said the
sense.
same thing. He said,
Philosophically, that's to acknowledge that it has a sound.
but that's the problem.
Right.
It doesn't have a sound. Pete, that and you're the
Facts.
the fact that you're a white person said that.
I'm crying.
No, Pete, no, don't lie.
I love Pete right
No,
now.
no. You know what? No, Pete. This is the exact problem, right? It
The
has to be
exact solution
identified.
depends on how you look at it.
No, it's not the solution, but that's the problem. And this is why I'm saying this is why May 4th is so important, right? Because it forced you to stop fucking with other people's shit and emulating their shit to make some dope
I
shit.
concur with that, bro. I agree.
That's
with that.
why May 4th is important. For the last 16, 17 years,
So
since-
like not extracting funk music, just leaving it where
hold
it is
on,
and walking away.
since the owl came out,
Oh,
the owl.
gotcha, my bad.
Jesus Christ.
Since Buddy came off
Since
that
the
perch.
owl came out,
Okay.
Oh man.
Hitmaker has said he set the standard of how you guys make hip hop producers. So you guys said to make it to the top,
gotta
I
make Drake
need to
records.
make it sound like this.
That's facts.
That's how you make fucking pop music.
That's facts.
That's not how you do this thing called
It was
hip hop.
pop.
That's
It was-
That is a fact.
Rick
pop,
Rubin does not sound like Larry Smith.
I mean, but go ahead.
Larry
Mhm.
Smith don't sound like Marley Marl. Marley Marl. Even when Dre tried to do his best rendition of Marley Marl, it don't sound. Dre didn't really hit until he
Yeah.
figured out something that he can be the first and own and looks like he created in the space.
Isn't that the whole thing we're talking about?
No, because you keep saying the West Coast sound. Warren G didn't win because he sounded like Dr. Dre.
You're not wrong, but in a sense of being a producer, we're looking to try to get shit placed. So hell yeah, I gotta make a beat that sounds like this person or this person or this
The
person.
difference
That's the
between
sound.
industry,
That's the sound.
the difference between industry and hip hop.
If I had
Shout out to my boy Trap for that.
you feel
The
me?
difference between industry and hip hop. You're trying to be in the industry, not make hip hop. Hip hop is
Mhm.
not about industry. That's the trick. It's the reason why Slip shit don't sound like Dre. Dre shit
Yeah.
don't sound like Warren, and Warren shit don't sound like Quick. You can distinctively tell all the difference, even though they all could be inspired by funk. All their shit sounded different
Right.
because they wasn't
Right,
trying to place fucking beats.
But that's
That
what I
makes
mean by
sense.
scope. They
That's
might sound
facts.
different
Yeah,
than one
yeah.
another, but
Different
they
though.
It's not
collectively
different
have
now.
more
Nah.
similarity than they would have differences
They don't
relative
have
vis-a-vis other
similarities.
areas and other
They don't-
sounds.
Listen, they don't have similarities. They
Okay.
really don't.
No,
If you
no.
heard MCA Ghetto Took Me Under, it does not sound like G Thing.
So the sound came from
MCA
it
sounds
being niche.
Sound is a
niche-based.
lazy way of approaching making
Well,
hip hop,
Well, then
which is why the independence was won on May 4th. So you niggas could stop
Nah, sound-
making them sound beats, them Dom sounding type beats. Stop doing that.
nah.
You actually gonna have to work your ass off and figure out what the public fucking want to hear again.
Nah, real.
You actually got to get back out there and do it. Hitmaker sat down with Ray
That's
Daniels.
facts, though.
Shout out to Ray because I can't wait to see one. Shout out to Berg. That's my brother too. Hitmaker's a solid dude, Berg. But
we
he
just
was
had Ray
talking about-
Daniels on my show. He hard.
All right, I love Ray.
But
Hey,
you gotta have
Burger's
a
in my
sound.
top 5. Burger's fire.
Yeah.
Burger's in
Yeah.
top 5
Nah,
is
real-
crazy. That is
Hey.
hella dope.
That's great.
Bro,
Right?
hey, the nigga hard, bro. The nigga
Burgers,
hard,
and he's
bro.
a monster. You know what
But
he's doing.
I'm
That's
talking
hella dope.
for the new school niggas, bro.
And
Yes.
shout out to Burger,
Yeah,
bro, because
shout out
Burger's a
to
solid
Burger,
nigga with making the
sure.
records. But this is my problem. For years, he was able to look at what was popping because the presence of that nigga looming over you, that foreign invader to the culture, foreign invader because he's outside of the culture. He had y'all motherfuckers handcuffed. And maybe some of y'all benefited as producers. Maybe some of y'all benefited as producers, right? Because you was like, I can give me a check if I make this beat that sound like this. That is bullshit. And that's why hip hop is in the predicament it's in, and it's been fucked up for the last 15 plus years because you niggas will not understand that this ain't about a sound. Nothing about 2001 is G-Funk. Nothing. If you are a fucking producer in this space, you're supposed to be trying to rewrite this shit. You're supposed to be trying to captivate the whole
I agree
culture.
with that.
They gatekept though.
course,
How
it's
many
awesome.
young
I agree with
producers
that.
they let come in on some new shit?
No, it's not gatekeeping.
Nobody
the
gotta
fact
let
that,
you
nah,
come
And
in.
when you said
nowhere.
they,
It's a-
who is
it's
that?
not. That's what I'm saying. It's not gatekeeping. It's just the fact of the industry. It's an industry, so the sound is the product.
How is
So
it an industry thing?
No, I'm saying in like industrialized as far as industry, not just music industry. I'm talking
Okay,
about
so this
industry,
is my problem I got with
commercial,
that.
of the whole
when-
shebang.
When
Sound
he
is-
just
Mhm.
what he just said about they and not letting in and then y'all mentioned the word industry. Who's keeping you from working with artists that you know?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's no one is. What I'm saying is the sound. It's the sound. What I'm saying is the sound that we're talking about. That you guys are saying, hey, there is no sound. This is what we doing. The sound is the classification. It's when Dre does it. Oh, the execs. Oh, look, this is selling. Okay, that's that West Coast sound. I want that. Then they go in and then they get the producers that can make that. That's where the sound comes from.
But that's not what happened. That's
Nope.
not what happened.
No,
when
but I'm
hip-hop
just
was
saying
that
it's
strong.
no, but that's what you're saying as far as
That's
the
what's
sound.
happening now.
Right. No, that happened before.
Hell no.
That
I'm gonna
happened
tell you
before.
why.
They wanted the sound because I mean,
because
how
nobody
does-
when
how does-
because Dre don't
how does
sound,
G Unit have a whole album full of West Coast records, full of West Coast sound?
but
I mean, I get it. They wanted that sound. They wanted Dre's sound. They wanted that West Coast
Dre don't
sound.
Dre don't have a sound.
But I don't know, bro. He has a sound.
Dre
He has a
don't
sound.
have a sound.
He's not tied to a sound, but he has
He
a
don't
sound
have
that
a sound.
there is sounds that Dre is
He
known
does
for.
not
His
have
sonics,
a sound.
bro. What do you mean?
I'm telling you the truth. He
Sonically.
doesn't have a sound.
Okay, what do you mean by that? He doesn't have a sound.
Dre does everything based off the project.
What is that? Okay, what do you mean by? But you mean? I'm talking about really dynamically
If he does it
sonically
out the
for the
project,
final
how diverse are the
mastering, the
projects
way that
and
it's
sound?
already finalized, mastered. That full master, that's going to be crisp and pristine. That's a Dre master.
That's a quality. That's not a sound. Listen,
it all adds to the
just
sound.
hear me out. The Straight Outta Compton sound like Doggy Style. You cannot see that they're different. They're night and day different
They're definitely different, but you still knew that was produced by Dre.
because his name said it, not because you heard the beats.
True,
That's
but
the problem.
it's to
You've been
a point
listening
Outta
to him so
Compton.
long
He-
that
he
you start
sound
to
like
consolidates
Doggy
it down.
Style. It has elements
listen. It's no element that match NWA
that makes it
and
make
Doggy
sense.
Style.
Yeah,
There's
but there's
nothing
a
But there
that's
has
winning.
to be an element to make it
Separating
make
their
sense. Why you
earlier-
make this? It's definitely a thread for sure.
There
there's
is
something
no
there.
thread.
There is.
The only thread
Because
is
the consolidation
Dr.
point
Dre
occurred
did.
post NWA.
There's a thread there. There's okay. So you're saying that there's no sound. So why is there a sound? Why?
It's a lazy way of digesting what's happening. It's
Okay.
an
So what do I
intellectually
call
lazy
it
way to
now?
process it.
Now what do I call it?
What everybody sells on the West Coast is street urban culture from the West Coast.
Okay.
That's the difference. This is why I keep
upon
saying
what
it's a
medium do they sell
conversation
that?
of
Hey,
culture.
you know what though? You're right about that because I was just sitting there thinking about earlier records because none of that music sound like no Twilight 22. That's West Coast,
Yes.
you know.
Or Egyptian Lover or
Of course,
Egypt.
but that consolidation didn't start to happen until the 1990s.
Pete, the problem is white people started to classify it, Pete.
That's fine, but it
But
did
I'm telling you,
change
that don't
what
make
was
it
chosen to
right.
put
That
out.
make it identifiable to people that don't know what's happening. When you don't know what's happening, you label something. You call it gangster rap because that's all you can make out of it. It's lazy. It's intellectually lazy, and we don't have to be that way. Like, listen, the general public does. We don't have to be that way. Us as the foundation of this thing we call culture, and these record makers, we don't have to be that way. And when we start talking like the fans, that's a problem. Imagine KD talking like me, and he in the game. That nigga can't. Imagine Luka Doncic talking like he's playing.
Okay.
The problem is when you start letting the public control how you play the game.
What would you call gospel music?
Here's a great point. What
not
is
West Coast or East Coast?
yes? It's
Because
just
you can
gospel.
sing gospel over any type of music.
Over
if you want to.
G-Funk, and it'll be gospel.
if you want to.
Yeah. Kirk Franklin.
So again, the culture drives music. But so
gospel has a sound though?
No. The culture is the sound. Now there'll be people trying to hold on and believe what it is, but gospel is specifically about one person.
That's facts. That's facts.
If you sing
you
about
really
Mary,
do it over anything. Real
now
shit.
maybe I don't know. Maybe if you sing about the Virgin Mary, people might consider it gospel. I wouldn't.
That's facts. Because I mean, you consider Lecrae gospel in a sense, even though it's Christian rap, but it's still under the concept.
It's gospel.
Yeah, it's gospel.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If you made a song about Luke in the Bible, I don't know if I would consider it gospel.
That's not the same.
That's crazy. I never
You
even
keep
thought.
saying it's not the same, Pete. It's the same.
Yo.
You're trying to hold on to something that you really have no fucking business holding on to.
I'm not trying to hold on to anything.
Not you, Pete.
Because
I'm literally just trying to see where the line is.
There is no line.
He's just talking.
There's no borders.
Music.
This is not the United States of
We've
America. You
done
don't got to draw
podcasts
borders.
prior
music.
to this that have addressed this from the complete opposite end that
Ooh.
that were driven by your opinion.
That's fine.
My opinion is driven by culture. It's always been that opinion. How people hear what I'm saying is different than what I'm saying. People are not listening to me, they're hearing me. Because I never one time told you the West Coast sound. The further I get into it, I understand more than ever it's street urban culture. That's why Larry Smith Houdini could have 5 minutes of funk, and then people still act like a funk song is a West Coast song. Because they don't know. The culture drives this car we call hip hop.
I still don't know what we call it now. So now you're just saying hip hop.
It's hip hop. That's just hip hop.
I'm saying you could call your niches G-Funk. Now we can say what G-Funk sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you try to restrict G-Funk to a region, that becomes the problem.
Okay.
I see.
Because like you say, G-Funk arrived from 4-5 different people coming from 4-5 different areas.
Well, G-Funk is a coined term by shout out to the big homie Hutch from Above the Law. He coined the term, but the sound that people so the person who make it, you wouldn't even call most of his music G-Funk. If I play you Hutch music, but as soon as I get past Black Superman, you wouldn't even understand what's happening. The most people that even Dre don't have a lot of G-Funk songs the way you would imagine. Cat would probably, his sound would probably be the closest thing people label to G-Funk, and he's far away from Hutch and Dre and all of them.
That's right.
So what I'm telling Pete is it's not the sound. The sound is the lazy way of identifying what's happening. It's again, listening is to listen in, right? So now we're having a conversation amongst all of us within the culture. Even Pete, you're within the culture. You baptized in it. You within the culture. So now I'm telling you, you can't have an outside white man's perspective no more.
you baptized in it.
You
from the set, Pete.
For 90 consecutive seconds with that.
Nah, you from the set, Pete.
You gotta know, bro. So what I'm saying to y'all is this, right? What I'm saying is it's more about culturally what's happening. That determines the region, the culture of what's happening, the way you talking, because they talk this way. And for the last 15, 16 years, hip hop has been pasteurized between the arrival of the net and the arrival of the owl. The owl, like shout out to Cuz because he just said that. Shout out to Hitmaker, to Bird, because he said that. He said that they were all shooting that, oh, this is what you want to do. And it don't sound like the world because it's pop music.
You got bangers, bro.
I don't disagree with any of that. I don't disagree with any of that.
No, that's and his point. I get it. I agree with him. But that's why to this point, this why May 4th, 2024 should be celebrated in hip hop forever, because that is the day that somebody single-handedly cut the head off of a foreign invader, right? Cut the head off of a foreign invader and say, y'all got to get back to fucking making hip hop.
I
I have a question.
I agree with that.
Star Right says Pete, not Pete knowing who Philly is. Okay, Pete. Who's I don't
She
know what that
said
means.
That's a sarcastic way. She was surprised that you knew who that was.
Oh, Filthy.
Yes.
We just had a Super Bowl champion from Philadelphia yesterday. My brain's not exactly dialed
But she's surprised that you know who Filthy is. And I keep telling people that Pete is not the traditional. She's surprised.
I appreciate it. I thought she meant like I didn't know who because my brain's on Philadelphia. I didn't know what the reference was. That was all that I was asking.
So again, I'm saying to y'all, right? It's like that's why May 4th becomes important. So while you're right, if you're trying to be in the industry, yes, it might be bad for you because you're a pop nigga. You shouldn't be over here with us anyway. Get your ass over there. But if you really are the culture, there's no more looming presence
For sure.
of a colonizer, right? Who colonizes sound, of a colonizer saying, hey, this is the bar of success. Somebody was asking me yesterday, well, what is Kendrick going to do tomorrow? I said, I hope he don't put out another record for you punk motherfuckers. I would finish my tour and ride off and tour on my music and whatever else until I felt I needed to rap. I wouldn't be talking to you niggas. Oh, well, if he took out this person, if he took out the owl, then he should take his place. No, you need to find somebody else new to listen to.
That part. We talking
What the hell is wrong with you? It's like you need one person to enjoy. Nigga, this is the culture. Nigga, there ain't no one person bigger than a program. Jay was doing fantastic his whole career, but it was always a new nigga every year you could listen to next to him. When you thought he had it in 96, here come Pac again with All Eyes on Me. And Nas came with It Was Written, his commercial success. So Jay-Z didn't have that by himself. In 97, when Jay thought he was going to have it with Volume 1, guess what? Here go Biggie. Here go Puff Daddy with a better album. Yeah. Puff Daddy, No Way Out is better than Volume 1.
It was a good time for music too. Y'all had to know LA, New York, you feel me? It was going crazy. He was putting out good records. The Beat created good records. But listen what I'm saying. There was not one person you followed they fucking sound. So, and I'm talking about probably the most accomplished and successful hip-hop artist ever in Jay-Z. And nobody felt they needed to colonize his fucking sound. You didn't get the Jay-Z sound on like beats, how they be putting on YouTube. And everybody else
YouTube things
like
be saying, them sound like beats,
sound like
type beats, them volume, them volume 1 type beats. You didn't have that. Guess what?
Well, type beat wasn't a thing. No.
Yeah. So guess what? Because when Volume 1 came out, guess what came out that year? No Way Out, Life After Death, all kind of fly shit came out in 97 that happened. And guess what? In 98, when Jay-Z finally broke through and he had Volume 2. Yeah. Volume 2 came out. Jay-Z Volume 2 came out. He sold 5 million. Here come DMX. That shit don't sound shiny like that shit. That shit the gutter. He dropped 2 albums, double, triple platinum, back to back.
Everything sounded different at that time.
Back to back. Here comes some nigga from New Orleans. Nobody knew that nigga, Manny Fresh. Who was this nigga? He got that Mardi Gras jazz shit in there cracking and they talking about backing ass up and high and all that. Guess what? You couldn't sell no Volume 2 type beats.
Shit, then you drop it and go again, go fast forward to Eminem.
Guess what? 99. Oh, you think Jay-Z got it now? Jay-Z got Volume 3 out, is killing. Guess what? Here come Dr. Dre with some shit that don't sound nothing like the Chronic.
And then he saw M right after that, wasn't it?
But y'all missing the point. Guess what? Here come Dog come with some shit that don't sound nothing like Jay-Z.
Right.
Listen to what I'm saying. Focus. I'm telling you about the most accomplished and successful hip-hop artists in history. And I'm telling you how nobody had tight beats.
Real shit. No, you're not lying, bro. You're not lying.
And 2000, when he comes out, he goes and deals with Rick Rock and he makes the Rock La Familia album. Some nigga out of St. Louis come up in here and he pronouncing every ER with a UR. Der and her. And that shit didn't become the sound. And then here comes Eminem, this white man from Detroit. No, every year that nigga came out, nobody made an album that sounded like his album. But all of a sudden, since this fucking album came, all you motherfuckers want to make your records to sound like him because you think this is what you got to do. And that's the problem.
That's fucking facts. I am not gonna hold you, Glasses.
And that's what Berg said.
Yeah, real shit. That's facts.
And that's what Berg said. And I'm glad that nigga did.
That's facts.
Forgive me. You are alive, brother. You gonna make your money. You in Australia getting your money, bro. It's cool. Yeah. But you needed to die in this space. Because I'm tired of you niggas making these tight beats. Where is the hip hop?
Nah,
Where
real.
is the culture in the music? You niggas making these tight beats, and that shit's embarrassing.
Tight
And y'all
beats.
following
Tight beats for the win.
Y'all follow somebody who don't even know who he is. And y'all making y'all music sound like a nigga that don't even know who he is. He don't even know who himself is. Every week he wake up with a new hairstyle, a new braids. Nigga ain't never wore braids in his life before 34. And now y'all niggas following him making music. Ain't that a bitch?
Hey, niggas want a bag, man. Shit, niggas trying to get a bag, bro. Hey, that's all we were chasing.
And that's the
it.
problem.
That's it. Niggas wanted a bag.
And ain't never no real bag in that.
Yeah.
No, that's facts though.
That nigga had to die. And that's why May 4th need to be celebrated forever.
Yeah.
Even if this motherfucker don't last,
That's
when
what I talk
rock and
about
roll,
things, you know,
nobody chopped Elvis' fucking head off.
Yeah, he approached it very economically.
Nobody
very
chopped
business.
Kenny G head off. Nobody protected
Exactly.
those cultural movements in the arts. Nobody protected them. Nobody stood up and fought and decided that these things were not going to be allowed.
True.
One
Right.
motherfucker came for hip hop. This motherfucker had it by the balls. Had a nigga Bird from Chicago.
I don't have
Chicago
bro.
nigga following him.
Hey, bro, stop bringing Berg up.
No, cuz
No, I'm just saying, like,
he said it.
no, I know that, but I'm just saying that's not the same thing, bro. Like,
No,
when-
it is the same head because everybody thought like that.
no, everybody does think like that.
So now it's over.
No, it's not.
Now you have nobody to follow.
You can't get rid of ignorance.
No, you can't get rid of ignorant, but you know what you can't get rid of? The motherfucker everybody following.
No, you can't. It's just gonna be a new motherfucker.
Gonna be 8 more heads
Because it wasn't a
sprouting up.
motherfucker before this.
No, listen, bro. Stop trying to save everybody.
Yes, I can't.
I don't think your man.
That's why I'm
think
here.
is wrong.
No, it's not.
I'm here to die for hip hop scenes and y'all in this
some
old punk
people-
that y'all got
listen,
going on.
Some people are meant to go down with the ship. You know what
I'm
I'm
going
saying?
down with this motherfucker. Guess what? I'm
You
not.
know who they call, you know what they call that person? They call that person the captain.
No,
Captain
bro.
of the- I like that.
Listen, every
I
now
like
and
that.
listen. I can't say what I want to say on this stream.
I like. Don't say that because don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck my shit up. But what I'm saying is, everybody is not meant to be a free thinker. Everybody's not meant to traverse the shackles of whatever ideology that systemically has been presented to them. Like, I'm not picking on Berg, but Berg does what he does. He's hit maker, right? He chases proverbial hits,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
Bangers
Perfect.
too.
Perfect. Cool. Do that, right? But then you have other people who are risk takers. You have other people who are trendsetters. The Jermaine Dupri's of the world, right? JD to me is my GOAT. You topping everybody got, you know, they killed me for that. But he's my number one. Why? Because JD never chased the sound. JD has never he in there making all of the shit, and he will vocally produce because he's a producer, right? I don't expect Pete, do you think Glasses is an elite MC?
Yeah, from an MC standpoint.
Okay. I don't expect everybody to be an elite MC. Some niggas, I expect them to be whatever they are. I'm not holding everybody to the same esteem or standard that Mustard is at, or Dot, or Jermaine Dupri, or Timbaland, or none of these people. I'm holding them to what they want to be. If you want to be drive-through, cool, be a drive-through. If you want to be sit down, if you want to be 5-star dining, cool. But all that, like, trying to raise the bar on all these niggas that don't want to be that, fuck them.
Kill them niggas now. Kill them niggas now. All the niggas who don't want to get down, lay down.
And this is like a thing
out.
in like the
Why should
VC
we
world.
not?
Hey, we could let them cook.
Listen,
They're gonna take
imagine
themselves
we all
out.
on the plantation.
They'll
Pete, you on the
take themselves out at
plantations
this
with us,
point.
Pete, because right now you ain't white. You with the culture. We all on the plantation, Kiki. It's all of us on the plantation. We all coming up playing. It's all 6 of us on the plantation. We all 6 of us on the plantation. It's 30 of us on the plantation. We trying to make a plan to escape.
We put most of the work on.
No, Pete got to do most of the work.
I'm always gonna get my ass beat.
No, all 6 of us trying to escape. This is my thought here. All 6 of us trying to escape. All 6 of us trying to escape. It's 30 niggas on the plantation that's like, well, you know what? Master say we shouldn't go nowhere. No, the thing is, kill all 24 of them motherfuckers now. Start with them before you even get to the slaver. Start with them before you even get to the slaver.
At some point.
Kill
Give
all
it all
24
of
of the
the-
people that's gonna tell, and then you kill the masters.
Hmm.
The problem is that we've been letting too many motherfuckers exist. We've been letting too many motherfuckers exist that ain't with the program. That's one thing that I appreciate about gangbanging. If you ain't with the program, bro, you're gonna get bumped off. Get your bitch ass out of here. It's way too much letting people just be cool and shit in hip hop and oh, you know what they're just doing. No, you ain't doing shit. Kill his ass now.
Hey, sure.
May 4th should be a lesson. That is how you protect a fucking culture.
Like
That's how.
Yeah, I agree with
Somebody's supposed to, if they don't think Beyonce is the
Hey,
real
G, that was
president,
Charlotte. He finna join the stream. I'm finna send him the link.
send him the link. Kill that motherfucker now. That's why May 4th should be celebrated. That's why.
I agree 1,000% with that. Like I think this is one of those things. I mean, you could say it's bigger than hip hop, but you could extrapolate a similar trend throughout like the entire economy by and large. You know, like you have your innovators and then you have your copiers. Usually the first guy goes down because there's that learning curve where it's like the innovator's dilemma, so to speak.
Mhm.
And then the second guy comes in at the right time and he makes all the money. He didn't come up with the idea. He just came in with the other idea that failed the second time at the right time. And we saw that happen. And it's almost like this moment was the moment that like a third operating system was available at your cell phone store. Like I personally, it's stupid and trivial. I think it's bullshit that in the United States of America, I can't get an Android or an Apple. Or I mean, anything besides an Android. Those are my only choices. I go to 1,000 cell phone stores in this country. I'm getting 2 fucking types of apps, period. You know, and that's kind of what happened. You saw like we want safe, proven, proof of concept money. And that's what this is. And that's kind of, I think, what you were saying with like, or Head was saying with Hitmaker. Like you can step back and you can create a new sound. It might work, it might not work. If it works, you're the man. If it doesn't work, it's not. Or you can just say, what's the hottest? I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to get that money. And that's what we had for 50 years.
And that's why niggas who gonna sell out the movement, kill them niggas now. Shout out to the homie Gino. Thank you for that $10. K-Dot left a body in New Orleans for the right reasons. For the right reasons. All I'm saying to y'all is this, right? A lot of the ways we see the business is based off of the last 16, 17 years. 16, 17 years. One person came, a foreign invasion happened, and they colonized what was happening. And then it made all of the music sound exactly alike.
Yeah.
Because people were pursuing, like he's saying, a check or a bag. And this is what Head's point is. It's like back in the day, you didn't pursue a bag, you broke an artist. That's how you got your shit cracking.
That was my point I was making to you
artist.
when you
Yeah,
said when niggas have the narrative that the industry is keeping me out. No, they not. Break an artist.
Can I say something for a second?
Go ahead.
That part.
So for a second, I mean, you got to understand that even at that point in time, bro, early on, labels was looking for artists to sound like other artists. Why you think niggas
Why are you looking to a label?
That's my point. It's innovator's dilemma.
I mean,
Everybody wanted
here's the
that.
thing.
But everybody
that
wanted
was kind of
people was
this
just
is the truth of the matter, right?
I mean,
This is the truth of the matter. And I remember
People
this,
needed that.
and this is the truth of the matter, bro. When you, I understand everybody's conditions, and God has blessed us to be in a fortunate situation, but it hasn't always been like that. Me and Glasses by ourselves when it got on a plane with no return ticket.
Yeah,
that's fact.
it happened.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have money. We shared hotel rooms. This nigga had me on the hostro in Oakland, in East Oakland. We stayed in a hotel. It was a nigga.
Shout out to E14, baby.
Bro, it was a nigga it was a nigga pressing a trick about his money in the hotel room next door to us. But it's all facts, nigga. We didn't have no nothing. I'm not speaking from a
Thanks
place
for
of
standing
privilege.
up for me too.
I'm not speaking from a place of privilege where I'm saying like, fuck the money, don't chase the bag and all. We all have life circumstances. It's not what I'm saying. But what G is saying and what I'm saying, if you want to be culturally potent, that can't be at the forefront of your mind. The forefront of your mind has to be, I'm going to break an artist, or I'm going to make history, or I'm going to take a risk, or I'm going to do something that's never been done before, or I'm going to do something extraordinary to the point where everybody's calling my phone and I'm not looking for the adulation or the monetization from somebody else. If you want to get into it, this is not to you, bro. This is to the industry. This is to every artist. This is to every artist that's watching this, or any producers or anything like that. The industry is not keeping you back. The white man is not holding you down. Kendrick is not gatekeeping because he didn't give you a verse or retweet your shit, or DJ Head's not holding you back because you wasn't on the pop out or none of that shit. You want to matter? Break an artist. It's simple.
And so it just then got to a point to where we let it really get here. And this is what I'm saying. This is why May 4th is so important. This is why May 4th is so important. Because somebody took away something that y'all use as a crutch for years. Go ahead, Pete.
I had a quick question just for you guys in general. Like you talked about beforehand, like the for lack of a better word, we'll just say the heisting of preceding genres, be it jazz, blues, rock and roll, whatever. There's also been like, I wouldn't say like a time frame where like there was kind of sort of organically a new sound that was created like within like the broader, I know Glasses isn't like the term, like the broader community, quote unquote. But hip hop's been on a pretty long run. It's close to 50 years. Like, do you guys foresee anything in the future where like just culturally and organically there could just be like the roots of an entirely new semi-genre or whatever that could happen, that could kind of get in, wedge its way into the space? Does that make any sense?
So in other words, you asking, do we see a possible evolution?
Yeah, like a new genre popping up just on its own from within the same culture that created almost in sequence jazz, blues, rock, R&B, hip hop, new sounds were created organically.
Remember, you don't get techno, you don't get all the techno and house are born out of hip hop.
100%. Yeah.
So we got other genres that really black people don't even really share in the space that already were birthed out of hip hop, like techno and house. Shout out to the brothers in Detroit.
But like hip hop replaced a previous, like full on replaced, not like existed next.
But hip hop, didn't replace anything, right? It's everything still exists. Hip hop is just the thing that everybody wants to do because it's the coolest thing to do. What's cool is always going to change, but you shouldn't really be doing hip hop because it's cool anyway. Like
I just mean like in the sense it replaced it as the cool thing in the place at the time, like in that time and place. You know what I mean?
No, I agree, but that's what I'm saying. That shouldn't be the reason a person is making music anyway. Like, you should do this because this is what you really want to do. Hence why we saying the money can't be the motivation. Nobody's saying be broke, but you got to really want this shit. Like, I hate while I love where we at now, I hate where we at now. Because where we at now makes people dream lower. Head was telling me a story this morning about he did this news thing on Fox News.
I just posted it. I just shared
it with me. I'm gonna collab with you. Y'all can check it out. But he tells a story with me and Dot. We was all on the tour bus, right? Tech tour. And Kendrick is like, man, Glass, he's showing me these pictures of this Corvette passed by. He look at him on the laptop. He's like, man, I ain't gonna never be able to get one of these. And I'm like, why? Of course you gonna get one of these. They make thousands of these motherfuckers, millions of motherfuckers on these cars. Because sometimes where we come from, bro, it seemed like these things is far that we forget this is mass-produced shit.
Right.
I'm telling my boss, shout out to my boxing coach, shout out to Will. That nigga was talking to me right now. He like, Glass, I was telling him, you almost have to be diluted to be great to people. Like, you almost have to sound crazy. Shout out to Queen Lady Act. She's in this chat. I watched this lady take her career to another level, her obtain things, make great records, and be proud of her accomplishment. And then I watch other people try to tear her down because she's proud of what she's accomplished.
Yeah.
You have to be deluded in this world to be great, bro. Nobody can see the shit you seeing. Like my coach telling me right now, when I see shit, I see it mathematically. My math go crazy, so I can make sense out of it. So when I'm telling him, I'm like, how you gonna dream about something that thousands of people make? Ferraris are mass produced. They're not made by hand. It ain't like it's one motherfucker making them. It's a factory making them motherfuckers.
All right.
How you people be talking about dreaming about shit that thousands of people own? Nigga, that means there's thousands of ways to see it.
Yeah. Right.
Because for sure, all these motherfuckers ain't did the same thing to get it.
That's facts.
So what I'm saying to your point, Pete, is like we've already spawned that, but then there's a diluted thing that has to happen. There's a delusion that has to happen, and you have to allow yourself to be as great as possible. And you do all the work to back up what you're talking about, to learn how to be what you're trying to be. Sure. My thing, when I first got in this hip-hop shit, I didn't know what to do. I was just doing it because I could. One day, Kiki told me, shout out to Kiki Low, he told me, he said, man, Glasses, God gave you this for me and other people. I thought the nigga was crazy. Why would God give me something for the next
Right,
nigga? And 10 years later, I realized he was right. I was like, oh, this nigga's not crazy. Because
Shit.
I didn't give a fuck. That nigga told me, he said, man, you was fine. You was gonna be fine no matter what. It's other motherfuckers that ain't gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So if I set my expectations like I had them at that time, where it was like, well, I'm making a living, I'm taking care of myself, I'm straight. But then everybody else is not straight. Lil Jay get out of prison. He don't got no job. He in prison again right now, doing 30 years or whatever. Because I didn't look at it for the opportunity that it is. Hip hop is a different opportunity. This ain't no check. Ain't no check gonna take care of your family. That just ain't a check gonna take care of yourself. And you can go, like I tell niggas, they be like, Glass, I just want to make some money and take and buy me a house. Go get a job. Go sell some dope.
Real life.
If your only
Real
goal
life.
is to get in this thing and make you some money and buy you a house, then go sell some dope. Go get you a job. Nigga,
This is
it's
DJ
perfect.
Head. I officially don't endorse what Glasses Malone just said.
I'm not
It's
telling
not
you to do it. I'm
about
telling
that.
you if
It's
your
just-
goal
That
is
low
that
bill
minimum,
came in
Dude,
promptly.
I had an acting teacher tell me, he said, if you want to be famous, go off the president. He said,
Yeah.
if you want to be rich, go rob a bank.
Yeah.
Of course, it's an analogy. It's like, this ain't for that. This is for if you want to be in acting, if you want
if
to take
you
theater,
want to be
you
great,
know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
was like way back in the day. It's like, if you want to be great, you have to really love this. You have to go into this, and
and it's
it
been
ain't
too
about-
many people
it's not about the
making
riches, it's
tight
not about
beats.
the fame. Yeah,
It's way been too many people making type beats.
right.
100%.
Type beats.
Yeah, real life.
It's way too many people for the
Type beats.
last
Nah.
15 plus years making type beats.
And Drake was making type music at the end of the day.
And the crazy part
And
is
it's
he was
not,
making
he was making wonderful type music, and I don't take that nothing
oh, he's
away from him.
awesome.
But that's what the ultimate consensus is, that when you look at it, he's making type music.
Awesome.
He's looking at it saying, "Oh, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Let me go over here and say slight. Let me go over here and say slat. Let me go over here and say slime.
Which is
Okay, let me go over here and
the
say YOLO.
reality is,
Let me
your
go over
ass,
here and
if
say-
you ain't never sold no fucking
What we
dope
talking
or
about?
been in an environment where they selling dope out of an abandoned house, your
Yeah.
ass have no business making trap music. I'm tired
Come
of
on.
niggas not respecting the culture of this shit.
Right.
Respect the culture of this shit.
You're not gonna win that fight, G.
I know, but that don't change that.
Dope.
You may affect one person.
I agree with you, but I hate Halloween. It's stupid to me. That ain't gonna stop niggas from dressing up like a Power Ranger.
I'm not saying, but I also can't. But I
Shots
also
across the bow. What the fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you was a Power Ranger, P?
No, I was kidding. I didn't
Oh.
watch Halloween like that. This is a joke.
You know what, Head?
I
You know,
don't-
as much as you want to save everybody, you understand you can't, but you got to say to niggas that you
Oh.
can. That's your job as a human. And I know you hate this task, but that's the definition and the verb of being a human.
No,
The
no. I'm
verb
with
is
you.
to care and to save humans.
I do. I say I pick and choose the ones that I save though.
I
Like,
get it. Yeah, no, and you do a good job. That's better than where you started.
facts.
'Cause you was just
Before
ready to burn. The house on fire, you that shit. But I got to get up out of here. I'm glad you have made it to the next level to where you at least like. Well,
I have evolved. You've been on me for years. So
Sure.
what I do is, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call the fire department. I'm not gonna run in the house. I'll get a nigga out the yard, but I'm not running in the house. The house on fire, champ. Like, what you want me to do?
Listen,
But
and I'm not saying, and I'm
I got
not
shit.
saying,
I got shit to do tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
no, and I'm not saying, cuz,
Certainly. I agree with that.
and I'm not saying, we just got to work one day at a time, cuz we got you making one call, cuz that's a good start. But shout out to my boy DT who makes a great point. He said, where do we go from here? That's the best part about hip hop.
Right.
Now there's no way to know. You actually got to really care about what's happening culturally, and then you got to score the movement of somebody culturally. You actually got to make hip hop.
Right.
That's why the last 17 years has been miserable for me, because I've been listening to a bunch of pop music. J. Cole should be poppy as hell. Shout out to Cole, because I'm not saying he's not a hip hop artist. It's not what I'm saying. Cole, don't get mad. But your shit been hella poppy. That should be
You
like
know,
a coach.
Cole respond within a week, so you better be careful.
Cole not go. Cole know what I'm saying. It's not crazy. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. That nigga know I'm not tripping.
You know, Cole respond fast.
I'm tired of niggas the last 17 years trying to make them 40 type beats. Them boy wonder type beats. Now you don't have that. Now you don't have that. Now you stuck figuring out how to score the movement of some culture that you represent.
Yeah, but what if they don't have culture to score?
Get your ass out the way.
So you're saying they're occupying real estate that is valuable real estate that can go to somebody who actually is
They
from.
need to be eminent domained. They're that stupid empty lot in the middle of the train track that's connecting city A from city B, and somebody can step in and say, "We're pulling this strip from you for the greater good."
No
Okay.
more. Yes.
All right, cool. But then there's just going to be another lot, and then another lot, and another lot that's blocking it.
That's why that stupid high-speed rail hasn't been built.
Listen,
It's not.
Imagine if Dot says, you know what? At the end of the day, they gonna prop this nigga up, so I might as well not kill him. Or imagine in the revolutionary world, Crispus addicts like, you know what? I'm not gonna fight for this. They gonna like the English people that you don't fight in that moment, thinking of what's gonna happen tomorrow. You do have to be mindful. Imagine if Abraham Lincoln, like, well, you know what? They're gonna slay these niggas tomorrow. I might as well not free them or try my best to free them now. No, you gotta still do your big one. You don't get the luxury of looking at 10 years. Well, you know what? In 10 years, I might be on crack, so I can't make no money now. We just stuck with what we got. We just stuck with this life.
And in the greater scope of history, it's like you have your rail line that can't get built or whatever else, and that eventually precedes the invention of the cargo plane, and you just fly over it faster, cheaper anyway in time. So, and that's kind of the space where those things need to happen. It's like, look, we've done this. It's maxed itself out. We need to innovate some new experience that can then just overtake that all told.
No Ceilings Live, the lunch hour, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time right here. Digital Soapbox. Click that thumbs up button. Feel me? Let everybody know you're in the house. If you're on Twitter, retweet this link. If you're on Facebook, share it. We do this stream to support the No Ceilings podcast. It's a link below right there. Y'all can look below this. Subscribe to the No Ceilings podcast today, man. Go leave a comment. Let me know you subscribe today. Feel me? We do this to support that. You can listen to the No Ceilings podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcast from. The No Ceilings podcast, executive produced by Charlamagne the God, the Black Effect Podcast Network, and iHeart, and we out this thing, man. Much love to y'all.